Hey guys, and welcome to DCOM month. 20 years ago, Disney Channel started producing original films for their channel, and since I started watching them in the early 2000s, I was right there during the golden age. And after doing NDTV for almost 5 years, it's weird that I've yet to review any of them. Well, time to change that, but we need a theme. So instead of just doing random ones, we'll be covering 4 of the 5 DCOMs based on Disney sitcoms. Why only 4? Because I've never seen a single episode of Jet Jackson, and I've been really busy this year, and don't want to sit through 65 episodes of a series just to get a review of it. And seeing as Hannah Montana and Lizzie McGuire's movies went to theaters, for some reason, we'll be sticking to Even Stevens, Wizards of Waverly Place, Sweet Life, and Good Luck Charlie. So let's start with one of the earliest Disney Channel movies I can remember watching, the Even Stevens movie. There's not much you need to know about Even Stevens. It's about a family. The 2 youngest, Ren and Lewis, played respectively by Christy Carlson Romano and Shia LaBeouf, are polar opposites and shenanigans ensue. I love this show. It was funny and it had this offbeat brand of humor to it that the actors put off so well. But how does the movie hold up? I remember it being one of my favorites when I was younger. It's written and directed by the same people as the show. In fact, the director, Sean McNamara, also did Influenza the Musical, my favorite Disney Channel anything of all time. His work in movies is... well, this is TV, so it should be good. Well, let's find out. This is the Even Stevens movie. Interesting to note here, this not only serves as the show's movie, but also the finale, and the only one we'll cover this month that has direct continuity with the episodes that aired right before it. For example, their dad Steve is out of work after the previous episode he quit thinking they would all be moving to Washington, and Ren is dating a guy named Gil who she hooked up with a few episodes ago. But he dumps her because he's a fucking bastard. Anyway, the movie starts with Ren graduating junior high. Okay, question. Did any of you do that? Have a graduation ceremony from junior high to high school? Anyone? As Ren goes up to make her valedictorian speech, Lewis and Beans come up from behind and remotely controls a beach ball, despite no way for it to possibly do that. Seriously, what's keeping it in the air? How is he controlling it? And how can it even stay up when it's loaded with spaghetti? Lewis gets in trouble, but their mother tries to calm them down by reminding them that they are family. However, everyone goes their separate ways. Ren, as I said, gets dumped by Gil as she goes home to cry.
Oh, Mom. Oh,
Now that is actually a really sad moment, and that moon is huge! Lewis has invented a chair that's so elaborate and amazing that even the grandpa from Spy Kids would be jealous.
Snack time.
Some people use their gifts for good, some use it to be lazy.
The specialty of the house. Gotcha!
Still better than most YouTube prank videos. After a hilarious scene where Lewis and Ren are chased by the chair, you know, you could just run to the side, guys, they run into a guy named Miles, played by Tim Meadows, who has come to offer the Stevens a trip to a tropical paradise island called Mandalino.
Mandalino is an uncharted, unspoiled island paradise. Mandalino is populated by the descendants of island natives and shipwrecked sailors from many nations, making for the unique and varied look of its people.
This has to be the cheapest presentation I've ever seen. I've seen school projects that look better. They decide to go, and since Ren agreed to watch Beans for the month to get her mind off Gil, he is going with them. They get to the island and are given a warm welcome from the natives as we get a montage of them enjoying themselves set to Aaron Carter and the Baja Men. I can't escape you, Aaron Carter. Why won't you leave me alone? One interesting note, Donnie seems to recognize one of the natives, saying he looks like a guy he knew in high school, but I'm sure it's nothing. Also, Ren gets to know one of the natives named Mutai.
The smell of the ocean. The beauty of a flower.
Oh, go for it, Ren. I totally would. The Stevens are called over to feast on the island delicacy of slugs. Hey, be happy we're not in India. They wouldn't make an entire meal out of this stuff. Miles tells Lewis about a secret snack compartment in the chief's palace and goes to find it. That's usually me when I go to visit my parents. He also stumbles across a throne, but pulls a lever next to it thinking it was a footrest, but this causes the entire palace to fall apart.
Louis, what happened? I thought it was a footrest. I didn't know it was a house collapser.
Since the natives think this has put a curse on the village, the Stevens are forced to live in a loom tomb on the beach.
Don't worry, I'll check in on you later to see if you survive.
I am going to give this place the most scathing Yelp review I've ever given. 2 stars! Ren and Lewis begin to fight, so their mom takes Lewis and Donnie to get some firewood, while the rest stay to finish the lean-to. While the three are looking, Miles tells them that they can make an apology at the tribal meeting, but they will have to do it without the others.
I'll go tell the others.
No, I'm sorry. Mandolino tradition states that all apologies must be made in groups of 3. Groups of 3.
This all seems very contrived. They tell Lewis to apologize to their god Oprah.
Oprah?
It's a coincidence.
And then they are told to feast so they can be forgiven, but Ren sees this and tells the others. Oprah doesn't forgive them, and so the Stevens are shunned by the natives. And since the next plane won't arrive for 7 days, they are stuck there. The groups get in an argument as it starts to rain, then we get our twist. Yep, turns out this is all part of a reality TV show called Family Fakeout. Everyone on the island is an actor and Miles is the host. And also kind of an asshole.
Look, I'm sorry that Donnie recognized me. Look, from now on, I'll keep a low profile. That's what I'll do.
I have a better idea. You're fired.
What?
Wait. I just thought of something. According to our research, Donnie's not exactly the Einstein of the family. We could have some fun with this. You're rehired.
Alright, I'm not an expert on how reality TV works, but won't they eventually have to find out? And if they didn't sign a contract, can't they sue? I mean, yeah, they signed something earlier, but I assume they had to have read it, and if it doesn't talk about the whole family fakeout thing, yeah, I think they have a decent case. The next day, Steve, Ren, and Beans go out to look for food when they come across a squirrel. The water-skiing squirrel knew that one day he would get his revenge. Miles tries to offer some help by getting them emergency food supply, but the plane drops it miles away. After Donnie has a run-in with Patrick Green, Miles tells the rest about the food and says that the others went to get it themselves. And when both groups arrive, they see a crate is empty and think the other group ate it all.
Somebody ate it all! Oh yeah? I'll give you one guess.
Ate a week's worth of food in a short amount of time. Yeah, alright.
Hold on. Mom, we don't need them. We don't need them. We'll be fine on our own, thank you.
Oh, really? Well, you can sleep out on the rain tonight!
We can! And we will!
Oh god, Shia LaBeouf, don't ever stop doing things. Meanwhile, back at home, Lewis's friend Twitty and Tawny are watching. Twitty feels guilty as he is the one who submitted them to be on the show and gave Miles all their information. They learn they are right off the coast, so they get their friend Tom to take them there on his boat. Ren meets with Mutai and the two have a moment. But will they kiss?
I would very much like to kiss you now.
What do you think? Will Ren let Mutai kiss her? Vote now on FamilyFakeout.com.
So, is all this happening live? Because that just seems like a terrible, terrible idea for a show like this. As the ratings for the show go up, Miles tells Mutai to kiss Ren and then dump her for a drama. Twitty, Tawny, and Tom finally see the island, but they have to take a dinghy due to the waves. They get separated due to a big wave, and when Tawny makes it to the island, she gets hit by a coconut, and Twitty is taken by security.
I'm a marine biologist, and I'm here on top secret government business, so if you'll just let me go...
Wait a minute. You're that Twitty kid who turned us onto the Stevens family.
You're a terrible person. Tensions arise amongst the Stevens family as Ren finds Mutai and they finally kiss, but Mutai has grown feelings for Ren and tries to tell her the truth. But Miles sends in the chief and takes him away.
Blame it on our brother Louis.
This is Louis's fault, yes! Yes! What? Your brother told us about your secret meetings with Mootai.
You were supposed to not be talking to any of the Stevens. How did he tell you this?
He is to blame for all your unhappiness, Louis.
And you believe that?
Retard.
Twitty manages to escape and pull some wires, disabling them from their feed, which is why doing this live was a really stupid idea. Donnie runs into Tawny, who's suffering from some memory loss, but that quickly wears off as she tells them all about the family fakeout. Well, that was pointless. But they need to find Ren and Lewis, as it seems Ren has gone off the deep end.
Ren has totally lost it. No, not Ren. She's always in control.
As she chases Lewis, Miles realizes he may have gone too far and goes to tell them the truth. But Ren has cornered Lewis on a cliff.
I just spoke to the tribal elders. They've decided to forgive your family. You hear that, friend? See, everything's great now. It's great news. Friend, what are you doing?
I'm about to solve the Lewis problem.
This is the perfect time to tell you that you're on a new reality show called Family Fakeout.
You know what? I know what you're doing. You're trying to protect Lewis. You're always trying to protect Lewis. Well, you know what? I can't take it anymore!
No, this doesn't end with murder, it ends with this. How did you do that with no phone and no internet?
You know, we put this prank together in a matter of just a couple of hours thanks to family friend Alan Twitty and Tawny Dean.
Wait, so it took them over 2 hours to fix those wires? And yes, to answer your question, that is Dave Coulier.
Whoa, that was a good one. You got me there.
So Ren gets together with Mutai, whose real name is Jason. Steve gets a new job, and they all lived happily ever after. So that was the Even Stevens movie, and it's pretty good. Yeah, the plot does have some contrivances. This show's a lawsuit waiting to happen, and you do have to buy a lot of far-fetched stuff, but it does match the tone of the show. It's more a live-action cartoon than a sitcom. Christy Carlson Romano and Shia LaBeouf are both great, acting just over the top enough to be hilarious. They have most of the side characters from the series and give them something to do, even if it isn't much, and it is pretty funny. And there's plenty of good jokes I didn't show.
I mean, this morning I thought I saw a cheeseburger doing yoga.
If you've never seen the show, I don't think it's entirely necessary. You can get the main gist of it, but it works better if you do. So next time we'll be heading to the Caribbean with the Russos. How does that one hold up? Well, we'll find out. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. This thing is huge.